Howdy, everybody. Welcome on into the cargo bay where it's time for a little bit of hobby talk.
Wait, did you say hobby talk?
I can't remember. BC. Did I say
Oh
hobby
no.
talk?
Let's just pivot and do hobby talk either way.
Okay. We're
right,
now
okay.
doing hobby talk. How are you, BC?
Oh, I'm doing a pretty good. AB. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm a little frazzled, BC. We got some things to cover today, though. It'll keep me on the straight and narrow. We're gonna talk about 2023 Chrome, kind of now that we've got everything figured out about that set, so we can talk about it. We got some big hobby news. We got polls and comments. We got 2023 Chrome Black. We have we have collectors highlights, and as always, thank you to everyone out there who's liked, subscribed, and is leaving those comments. And if you haven't, Father, please please do. All right, well, should we just jump into the chrome of it, BC?
Let's jump feet first. Let's talk a little ripperoo reaction. So for all of you ravenous hordes out there who watched our box opening, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming back. I just wanted to highlight what we're going to say is the good, the bad, and the downright ugly from what occurred in that box. I'm a positive guy. Let's start with the good. Let's start with a couple of beautiful of 25s and maybe the best of 199 card that has ever been pulled in the history of human existence. This Lobot portrait here.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, BC. How do you feel a week-ish out from this rip? Because seems like this was a great box.
Compared to some other boxes I've seen, I feel really good. Couple of 25s. The fact that I've got, the Ronin as
incredible
as one of them, and then I've got a Boba and Vader as my other. Feel great. And the fact that my of 199 is legitimately a card that just it tickles me pink. I'm very excited about that. And the quality of the parallels, well, very nice. All very lovely.
That's
also wanted to highlight the Ahsoka and the IG card from the inserts. Also very nice stuff.
I was really impressed with their pulls, BC. I haven't been keeping up with prices. It used to be that I really knew what was happening with Chrome Galaxy because I was trying to buy things. I am not buying things right now, so I don't know the general value on these. I would assume you're still in you could make the money of the box back territory, although the boxes aren't flying off the shelves. They're still up on Topps. So I imagine the demand is lower than it has been in the past for stuff. I think there's also obviously a lot more printed of this because we got the of 199s. I did want to say I saw a listing for the Ronin, the same card you have, where it was like Kylo Ren question mark. Which is funny to me as a Star Wars snob. It's of course the Ronin.
As a fan of Star Wars Visions, we of course know it's the Ronin. Not Kylo Ren, but yes, very, very happy with it. I don't have any intentions of moving them, but in terms of box value, I was like, I feel okay about it, right? Like, I didn't feel like I got crushed under the weight of this stuff. So I felt good until we moved to the next slide, and then I started to feel not as good about some of these things. Now, the image on the left there, it's kind of hard to see. I was trying to capture the edge of the card. I got a bit almost serrated edges on some of these. They're pretty rough. And then the Chewbacca with the Porg is a good example of what not great centering looks like. And you brought this up too. The drop shadow actually pronounces the off centering of some of these cuts. So again, these are base cards, right? It's not like a huge loss. You can still stick them in your binder and it's fine. But it is like the quality of them is on, I'd say about 20% of just like my base stuff was like, left something to be desired. But I don't expect everything to come out at 10, but some of it was a little.
When I broke down the average price per card, it was upwards of $3, I think, or $4, getting close to $4. So yeah, I'd expect the card quality to be good even for a regular
Yeah.
base card. I did think that maybe the parallels were all in fantastic shape. I was like, it seems
Mhm.
like maybe they've done better quality control on the parallels, and maybe they did. But I have seen some pictures of some parallels that weren't perfect. So I don't know. Definitely a bummer there.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like mine all look pretty good, so I was happy about that. But if you want to go to the next one, we're gonna go to the just the downright ugly, and
Oh,
what I got here. I
oh,
actually didn't notice the Boba Fett whenever we were doing the rip, but if you look at the bottom of that thing, just crimped completely on the bottom edge, which I'm
that's a
surprised I
refractor
missed.
too, right?
It is a refractor, yeah.
Man,
The only refractor that I had that was in like truly terrible condition. I mean, some of them like minor centering stuff, but that one was like egregious. And then the Lando, if you look at the bottom, you can see there's just a nice little print roller running right down the middle. I think runs from the top of the bottom of the card all the way to the top. Like you can almost rub it off of the surface. That's how pronounced it is on there. So, we talked QC is always a concern, especially when you're paying $200 for a box of cards. So obviously thankful that the parallels I had were in good shape. I got a couple lower numbered ones. Um, but in general, some concerns about it. I do still don't regret anything about it. I really enjoyed as by our video whenever we did it. But just some general there is some cause for concern on some of that stuff.
yeah, this big print mark in the middle is what I saw on somebody's parallel, which is a
Ooh.
bummer. And I've also the more I look at these cards, some of the placement of these Galaxy logos bothers me with the border. Like
Mm.
it's just pushed too far up into the corner. Like if it's not gonna be right on the edge, I'd like a little more breathing room. Like if that card didn't have a border, that Lando, for example, the placement of that Galaxy stamp would look fine, but it's just a little too close to the edge for my personal taste.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't know. I'm happy we have another box to open at a later date. I think
Yeah.
it's fun. I think the excitement of the parallels is what is bringing people to it. That said, you can get crushed on your box price if you don't get great parallels. But I always say Topps isn't in the business of making us money whenever we buy their stuff. So um,
Or when we
generally, the
promote
cargo
their
based advice
stuff.
is we do. We promote that. Do you hear that, Father Tops?
Give us money, corrupt us.
Yeah, but don't listen to this next part. Don't buy the hobby boxes. Just go buy singles off the internet if you're interested in saving money, which we generally are in favor of that.
Yeah.
Go buy exactly what you want, and you'll end up saving some bucks.
Yeah, for sure. That's always the cargo bay advice. Get those singles. But BC, I've already accidentally revealed the slide coming up, and it's breaking
Oh,
news. It's big
oh,
news, BC. I
breaking
saw
news.
a video from SGC today.
Mm.
Was a man sitting behind a big desk. I imagine as a one of the head honchos over there at SGC, and he was giving a speech about the future of SGC. And I like
Oh,
SGC for my PC.
yeah.
Sometimes they're mostly because their prices are already pretty good and their turnaround time is good. But look at this, they're moving to $15 for sports and non-sport. You said $9 for trading card game cards.
I think that's what I saw advertised on their site right now. They've also got like a special running for some Topps baseball stuff. But yeah, breaking news by a very well, I would say, fancy man behind a big desk.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy about it. I guess obviously the grading bubble has started to cool off, or the peak of that action has started to cool down. So
Yeah.
I've been wondering what these companies were going to do. The other thing they're doing, which I think is honestly more exciting, I think it's weird that nobody's done this before. I think it's a good move. Is they are building an app where you'll store your collection in and have those high quality scans that they give you of your
Mm.
cards. Um, so that's something when I was looking at Beckett's website, whenever that was recently, or I was like, man, this is rough. And even PSA, it's like, what was really nice about grading with SGC was they gave me those super high res images of my cards. And
Mhm.
it would be nice to have those easily accessible if you were someone who graded a lot of cards with them, just to have on
Yeah.
your phone, like, look, here's my collection and here's the picture of my actual card.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. Who knows? Apps are finicky. Sometimes they
Yeah.
just wind up not being a thing, but I think it could be a good move for them. I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
an expert by any means.
I mean, I think it's a great move. I mean, I like the PSA website, but sometimes it can be finicky to navigate through.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it's just, I'm not always on their website, but there are times when I'm researching stuff or looking at things where it's like, what do I have to click again to get to the thing that I really want to see? And
Yeah.
sometimes it can be kind of a pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Doing our research for our videos, our set guides, we use PSA a
Yeah.
lot, and it is
Yep.
kind of cumbersome clicking around. Now, BC, I must bring us to some sad news. We've had the retirement of Not Sports Cards. Mike of Not Sports Cards, a friend of ours, came to us for a collaborative video back when we
Yeah.
had spent 2 years doing videos to almost nobody.
Yeah. That was fun.
But anyway, we're putting this here because I don't know. Maybe go watch some of that content. Pester Not Sports Cards to come out of retirement someday. I don't want it to be a permanent retirement.
Yeah, here's the deal, everybody. Go throw some love over to not sports cards because you can't stay retired forever. I mean, Michael Jordan retired and he came back a couple times, as I recall. So, my hope is that this is just a temporary retirement. This isn't permanent. Surely not. Whenever I first read the news, I wanted to say, say it ain't so. So this is the Cargo Bay's official plea to say it ain't so. Not sports cards.
Hey,
Say it ain't so.
nothing better than to encourage strangers to harass your friends.
Yeah, that is historically never gone wrong on the internet. So
Anyway, I guess what I would say is even if Not Sports Cards is retired forever, if you want a different perspective on collecting, there's, we have different points of view, and there's lots of content there, a big
tons of
content
great stuff.
backlog. So,
Yep.
all right,
Go check it out.
advancing on to our Topps living cards. BC, we got a couple of beasts.
We do. We got a couple of horizontal beasts this week. We got the Dewback, which I love a good Dewback, and then I don't know how I feel about the name of the Tatooine Sand Beast.
There has been a name change because there was an earlier name that I didn't even like saying. It just felt a little weird. So I don't know. It seems like it is now the Tatooine Sand Beast. I would like a more specific, unique name. I like it. Sometimes it's good to have a Star Wars name that's right on the nose and not that descriptive, I guess. But
yeah,
there are a lot of sand beasts on Tatooine.
I was about to say, there's a lot of creatures rolling around there. I feel like we could be a little bit more specific. I do want to point out, sometimes we do take, we make some comments about the living set. It is never about the art, which we always love. Shout out to the fantastic artists on the living set. It is generally more about what I'm sure are very fun and strict regulations that they get to deal with when working with Father Fanatics and Papa Tops on some of these stuff. So, of course, all those things that are not in the artist's control, we feel licensed to take shots at because the art never had issue with. It's always been fantastic.
I mean, mostly we're just looking for anything to talk about because BC, something maybe I should have made a slide for is Topps Now Ahsoka. Not going to happen, I guess. I guess it's not happening. We made a video in anticipation of Topps Now Ahsoka, and Topps said, we know how to throw off the cargo bay.
They're always trying to get us. Yeah, this is legitimately baffling to me that they have not released Topps Now for Ahsoka. One of the, I mean, for Star Wars collectors, if Papa Tops is in the know. Probably one of the more collectible Star Wars characters. And there's just nothing. There's crickets. There's crickets from them on their website. I check all the time to see if there's, maybe the cadence of how they're releasing it's going to be later. But at this point, I'm losing all hope that it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think we both expected the Wednesday after the third episode dropped for that to be the normal timing for them to stop dropping cards, or start dropping cards. My guess, BC, is, I mean, if you look at the print runs on these cards, I've always been a little bit surprised that they do it because, yeah, they're grossing, $20,000 or something on a run. But when I think about running a printer, designing images, handling the logistics of the shipping, maybe that's not as profitable as saying, hey, we still got a lot of boxes of Galaxy Chrome that haven't sold. If you want your Ahsoka card, maybe you got to buy one of those boxes, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe we can wildly speculate, or Father Fanatics, if you want to send one of your fine representatives over to the Cargo Bay to answer some of our hard-hitting journalistic questions, feel free to. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many print-on-demand things that are always on their website. You've got the Living Set. You've got Throwback Thursday. It just seems, and the precedent has always been that, at least recently, for shows that they're going to release an on-demand set. There's no word about why they wouldn't be doing this. I mean, they released the Visions all together too. Even after Volume 2 of Visions, they did all of Visions.
Maybe they'll do that.
I don't know.
Maybe they'll release it as a set at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I just, for like my own sanity, I mean, I understand the reality of it is that you're paying the same amount of money anyway, but it makes more sense to me if I'm like doing it over a weekly time if I'm buying those sets, as opposed to like all at the same time. So I was kind of hoping that at this point we'd have something or any information at all, but I don't know. We'll keep our eyes peeled, but at this point, no word about an Ahsoka Topps Now.
And again, I'm not a business person or an economist. I don't know about these things. I guess it would be more than $50,000 they were grossing per episode if I think about that. I just remember when I ran the numbers on, like, they printed X amount of cards at $20 a card, or a pack of cards. This is less money than I would have, thought for something that is throwing, a whole product together. But anyway, hopefully we'll get something Ahsoka related by the time that show's done with its run. But I guess that brings us to our first poll, right, BC? Is that what's the next slide? No, it's comments. Sorry. Comments. I took a gamble, BC.
It was close. Yeah, we've got Swagoholic commented.
Great.
This was in reference to last week we were highlighting some stuff from the PC. So I want to send some highlights in my PC, but I think I'm literally the only person collecting a certain few sets on eBay, and I need to finish my sets as cheaply as possible. And your guys' channel is successful enough to attract some whales. I'm glad you added the ha-ha. But totally understand the perspective. When the Cargo Bay shines the massive spotlight, eyes are drawn to it. We definitely don't want to interfere with anyone's collections or completing a collection. So whenever your collection's finished, send us some images. We'd be happy to share with the world. We really do enjoy highlighting the PC stuff that y'all have out there. But definitely don't want to interfere or drive up the prices with that Cargo Bay bump.
Hey, you might ha-ha, BC, but there are a few things that I keep secret that I'm collecting because it's a tiny little collector sphere, and sometimes there are two cards I'm watching on eBay, and I'm waiting on one of those, sellers to drop their price. So there are a couple pursuits of mine that I haven't talked about on the Cargo Bay because they're my secret pursuits.
See, that's smart. That's the way to do it. And in the same vein, we did get a friendly warning in the next comment from Chris. It says, you seem like good kids, so I'll give you a friendly warning. The high-end Evan Peel market is not for the faint of heart. The stakes are high and no mercy will be shown. Stay in your lane, blaster boys. To which this I say, we're coming for all the Evan Peel.
That's right. The opacity on my heart is 100%, baby. It's not faint at all. We're coming after it.
Yeah, I appreciate the humor in the comment section. Obviously we're going to be driving up the Peel market and then dumping immediately once those skyrocket to insane prices. Again, we're looking at buying in at about $4 and selling at about $5. So we're looking at a good return on profit on the Evan Peel market.
That's absolutely correct. Now I think we have a poll up next. Yes, we do.
Yeah!
Is Topps ever going to release Andor cards? No, at 48%, BC. Ouch, that hurt me. You and I are Andor boys.
They're bad. We are Andor boys.
I don't think I voted on this one. I typically don't, but I was going to vote for yes, but only after season 2. And that is what I believe. I believe after Andor season 2, they will release a comprehensive set of both seasons. I still believe, BC. We've only got 31 votes here, so I could just translate these percentages into numbers. I wish they would just show me the numbers, but my brain doesn't work, so I'm still going to say 19% said yes, they'll be announced before the end of the year, which I think is optimistic, and I hope you're right. They'll fill a gap in 2024, but yeah, overwhelmingly no. I think just to hurt our feelings.
It does feel like to hurt our feelings, but okay, well, let's add up the yes columns. We got a 52-48 split for some version of yes.
That's true.
But the large amount of votes for one column did go to no, which did hurt significantly. We are on record as saying this is the first case that we would ever break open our piggy banks for would be the Andor release. And then Father Fanatics heard that and like, we're gonna mess with those cargo bay boys. There shall be no Andor set. To which we say, great, fantastic, amazing, I love it. So I did vote yes. I did vote with the optimistic. They'll be announced before the end of the year.
Love it.
Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. But I'm not holding out a lot of hope. And I think this poll actually ties in nicely to the next poll that we have going here too.
Is Topps releasing too many Star Wars sets? 65% yes. And BC, we have a YouTube show, a podcast. Hey, out there, audio listeners, you should really watch this on YouTube, but I'm going to try to remember to put this in the audio feed. I think they're releasing too many. We need the sets for content, but BC, I think it's bad for the hobby how much they've pumped out these past couple of years.
I just think the last few months has been overwhelming in terms of the release cadence. Chrome, the Galaxy stuff came out of basically nowhere, right? It just like showed up on the website for that pre-release, and then they took it down. They're like, oh no, not yet. We gotta, sorry, too early. But that was right after. That was like a week after Flagship had come out, and then I feel like there was something right before that too. It all runs together, but it does feel like it's been coming a little thick and fast over the last several weeks here at this point.
Product after product after product. Yeah, so most of you agree with us. Some of you, though, you like it coming. I appreciate it. Probably more likely to watch weekly Hobby Talk videos, if you love your Star Wars cards coming out. And hey, listen, that previous poll, maybe BC, I haven't taken a statistics course in a long time. Maybe that was bad poll design. But what I can tell you, it's always good to have a better sample size. And if you want these polls to reach a wider audience, hit that thumbs up button on the poll when you answer. The YouTube algorithm is going to start showing it to random people out there, as far as I understand. I've never seen a poll in the wild. I think they're only on mobile, but I
have been seeing some polls pop up on my YouTube application.
Okay,
on my
okay.
telephone recently. So yeah, I have been seeing those push through in my feed, and I'm just kind of like, all right. But appreciate everyone who did take the time to vote. Just in terms of where I'm at, I think probably too many at the moment. Just space them out, let them breathe,
Yeah.
a little bit, you know.
At my current budget level, I would like 2 releases a year. And then maybe I would love a paper galaxy, a chrome
Oh,
galaxy,
yeah,
a flagship,
yeah,
and then some high-end stuff for the high-end people. That's where I am right now.
and Andor.
And Andor, yeah. And sure, a set
Yeah,
a set release specific to every show coming out. That's fine too,
I
because I don't feel bad about
I
skipping those or buying 1 or 2 boxes of those and moving on.
I think that's the wheelhouse. And if you go to the next slide, we'll talk about the continued product cadence that is coming out, and one that I think you and I are decidedly cool on
Yeah, yeah.
is Chrome Black.
Apologies to Chrome Black fans out there. There's definitely an
Yeah,
audience for it. A lot of people like these
yeah,
cards. This is kind of this is just not for the cargo bay, and that it's very expensive for 4 cards. And
here's the deal. We never want a yuck a collector's yum,
no,
if you know
absolutely
what I'm
not.
saying. We're not in the business of that. But what we are in the business of doing is shooting straight from our perspective. And if someone told me that Papa Tops was going to sell me 4 cards for $100, I'd laugh right in their face and say no, thank you. Which is what this is, right? Like you get one encased autograph, you get a pack of 3 cards. One of them is a parallel, and that's what this is.
Yeah.
So this is year 2 of Chrome Black. This is a baseball SKU that's been around for a little bit longer, that they've moved over to Star Wars. I do not love this.
Yeah, I wish I liked the design of the cards more. Personally, there's nothing that looks Star Warsy at all about this. So maybe that's part of the appeal is it looks like Star Wars characters on baseball cards. You know, I imagine if I collected Chrome Black baseball, it would be cool to have Chrome Black Star Wars, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's just nothing super appealing about this to me. The parallels were odd colors last year, to my eyes. You know, they were like pink and orange, and it's not a
Yeah,
lot of stuff that color matched with the character images well. But hey,
and,
they're thick
and they,
cards, right?
yeah, they're bigger. I mean, they're chrome, fancy chrome print. I think they do go up to 199. So I mean, even in your one pack, if your one parallel is of 199, and it's not a big hit character, to me this is just such a buyer beware. It like if you like gambling, this is a great product to gamble on. Maybe you do get a big autograph. Maybe you get a great parallel. The odds are the house is going to win and they're going to take your money and you're going to end up with a few bucks worth of cards. I mean, to me, it is just like it's like the signature series box that comes with the one encased auto, and that's it.
Yeah.
It is just a total gamble on what you're going to get. So to me, it is such a buyer beware. And if you want to go to the next slide, this is just kind of from our perspective or my perspective, where I'm coming from with some of that. We got some sales from just like 2022 Chrome Black. So you got a sick Max Rebo out of 199. That sold for what? Five great British pounds.
Pounds of what?
So pounds of salami.
I mean, that's a pretty good
That's a
deal.
good. It's a good rate. But yeah, so a few bucks there. You know, there's a tech autograph from D. Bradley Baker that was a buy it now. You know, they accepted best offer for $20. There's a decent, Yoda numbered card. $16. An Ezra autograph, $22. So don't. To me, it's like never go in thinking. Again, back to what we were saying before. Never go in thinking you're going to get your money out of the box. It is totally like a roll of the dice. It's a gamble. It's a crapshoot. I mean, the cards are okay. Again, not yucking anybody's yum, but it's just too much of a gamble for the price. Also, the prices of the boxes now for 2022 are lower than when they originally came out. So if you do want to buy it, wait, and it's going to be cheaper because I think a lot of this is just going to end up sitting around and it's going to get moved for a lower price later. Of course, the issue you're going to run into is have those cases been picked clean of their sweet hits, and now you're just getting the Evan Peels that are out there, you know?
Yeah, BC. These and the D. Bradley Baker and the Taylor Gray autograph, they're kind of like mid autos in this product. They're not the low end of like characters.
Those are decent autos to get. Yeah,
I did like those sideways autographs. I wouldn't say I'm an autograph expert. I do at some point want to present my collection of box pulled autographs over the course of my collecting history, just kind of an illustration of how Star Wars autos work, because the best I have ever pulled was out of a blaster of battle plans, and it was an Admiral Akbar. Tim Rose, yeah. And that card, not worth much at all, but that was absolutely hands down the coolest autograph I've ever pulled. Like, it was a recognizable character and a good signature.
I don't think I pulled any really good autographs. I've got a Pershing autograph from the Chrome 2021 Chrome Galaxy. That was all right, yeah, but nothing. No autographs that are like on the shelf that are, you know, I pulled by mine own hand, you know.
Yeah, so it's a gamble, and hey, if you're busy person on the go, you ain't got time to rip a box and you want to spend some money, here it is. It's a quick rip. 4 cards.
Oh, it's a fast one. It's a fast one. That's a quick one for sure.
All right, I'm advancing the slide here, BC. We got something from your PC.
Hey, little PC highlight. Again, not pulled by mine own hand, but bought by mine own wallet off of eBay. I did want to highlight the Professor Hu Yang auto from, of course, Clone Wars. David Tennant, who is doing, of course, the voice in live action. I'm a big Doctor Who fan, too, so I was pretty stoked when I got this card. I had been kind of eyeballing it. So my top shelf up here, maybe we'll do a full like card garden display in the future. But that top shelf is for like Clone Wars and Rebels autographs. And this was one that I definitely wanted to get and add to the collection. And I think I got it for like 30 or 35 bucks, which was like, that's a great deal for a David Tennant auto. Yeah. But yeah, like the card. And if you watch the most recent episode, got my heart racing for old Professor Hu Yang last night.
Yeah,
got my heart racing a little bit.
Yeah, when revealed the news that he was pregnant, it really blew my mind.
The droid pregnancy is no joke. That's a delicate situation.
I've enjoyed Professor Hu Yang on the Ahsoka show. I really like those mechanical eyeball.
Yes.
Slots going on. Very cool. Also, this is just a great autograph set. I like this auto design. So cool card,
yes.
I remember when he got this.
Chrome Legacy is what this is from. But yeah, it was just like great card. David Tennant. I'm a Doctor Who fan. It was slotted easily into the PC for me.
Has the value gone up now that we've got live action going? Have you checked that? Have you been checking the graphs?
I think I might be a millionaire now. I haven't checked the prices. To me, this one I don't really care because it's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Maybe values have gone up, but I just think value for a David Tennant autograph would be good either way. You know? So,
he's a real celebrity. That one.
He's an actual celebrity and a great actor outside of Doctor Who and voices on Star Wars. Just a well-respected actor in general, I think. At least by me.
I've decided I've got to get one of those terrible Matt Berry autographs at some point.
After What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes, now that I have completed that show.
I felt the exact same way when they first started coming out. I was like, I love Matt Berry so much. But his autograph is just the laziest piece of crap I've ever seen. I just have such a hard time bringing myself to it. But they are cheap, so it's... It's
We
not,
did an episode where we criticized his signature, but
did.
now that I've watched his performance and what we do in the shadows, I like it more that it's like, oh, who gives a like it's just like it feels in character to me.
It does, yeah.
They would not care at all about it.
It is indicative of the signer, whereas like Ashley Eckstein signs both her name and Ahsoka Tano in like pristine penmanship. He's just like, I don't care. Whatever. Hey, York City. It's funny, man. It's good stuff.
Gonna highlight a card I talk about a lot, BC, but haven't really highlighted. I have this card here because this is my 25 of 25 Jango Fett from 2021 Galaxy. I want to highlight this card. Jango Fett, maybe not my favorite character in all of Star Wars, but I don't know. I do like him. And the reason I like this card so much is, one, just a pretty card. I love the ringed planet in the background, kind of this Rocketeer-looking Jango Fett. But for my little brain, the 25 of 25 is the very best version of this card that exists. I would rather have this than the Superfractor because that purple stamp matches that purple suit, and it is the Omega. So when I got this card, I was really excited, and it's one that I will never get rid of this card because it satisfies my brain.
I just want to say, don't shortchange your brain. You've got a very big brain. In fact, the doctors, I think, issued a warning about the size of it a while ago. So you do need to be careful, okay?
They did say that my brain is nice and big. My skull is very thin, so it's kind of like a water balloon sitting atop my jaws. So it is a dangerous situation.
It's a very delicate balance right now, so be careful. Be careful.
I can taste the purple stamp. Yeah, so I just
did we do it?
I guess that's it.
We did it.
We did it. We're done.
No, sorry, I cut you off. The purple stamp.
I was to say this is representative of my collection and the kind of things that I look for, which are I want the best version I can get of a card, and this is one of the ultimate examples of that for me.
There's a specificity to it, which I love. Yeah, I need to highlight my greens at some point. I'm maybe just lay out the green parallels at some point. And hey, let us know what tickles your PC fancy. We always, like I said, always do like highlighting those PC collections. Unless you're still chasing something, again, we don't want to shine that cargo bay spotlight and drive the prices up on you and get you out of the business. But if there are PC highlights that you ever want to share, hit us up. We are the Cargo Bay Pod at protonmail.com. You can also find us on socials as the Cargo Bay Pod, where we check those things with, I'll say, some frequency. Not always high frequency, but there is a frequency to it. So if you ever want anything featured, just hit us up. Let us know. We'd be happy to share what's in the PC.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time, bye forever, and I'm ready when you are, BZ.
Shoom. Did we do it?
I was just going to be real professional about it and not say anything.
Okay, good.
We nailed it. We nailed it.
It's funny when we talk about it.